it is visible.
Okay, I am going to try to do this in 15 minutes or less. This is a study that I did on the impact of achieving national board certification on teacher attrition and job satisfaction, a mixed methods study. Okay, currently we have a problem in the United States in education. Currently, the student population in the United States, it has increased 7% between fall of 2000 and fall of 2017. Between 2009 and 2019, the overall public school charter school enrollment also increased by 7%. During the pandemic, during the first year of the pandemic, all 50 states recorded lower enrollments in fall of 2020 than in fall of 2019. However, it is still predicted that public school enrollment will continue to increase by 2% by the fall of 2028. So let's look at how this affects education. Our annual United States teacher attrition rate is 8%. Compared to other highly industrialized nations' attrition rates, such as Singapore and Finland, who have attrition rates of about 3 to 4%. Also, replacing a teacher is costly. It costs school systems roughly $20,000 annually to replace one teacher. So as you can see, as more students are entering public and public charter schools, more teachers are leaving the profession, which has created an epidemic teacher shortage. So the purpose of my study was to determine if achieving national board certification reduces attrition rates by increasing job satisfaction in the area of compensation, promotional opportunities, and contingent rewards. Additionally, I was trying to determine if achieving national board certification influences the likelihood of teachers staying in the profession. So let's look a little bit about, let's delve a little bit into the literature that exists on teacher attrition. So teacher attrition is defined by teachers who exit the profession. And the National Center for Education Statistics administered a survey back in 2013 to these teachers that left the survey, that left the field, and asked about various aspects of the job that they're currently in. And 60.8% of those surveyed reported that their work-life balance was better in their current job than it was in education. And so moving forward, we have 58.5% saying they have more influence over work policies, 57.4% say they have more control over their work, 48.9% said they have better promotional opportunities, and 53.5% said that their salary was better in their current job than it was in the field of education. So now let's look at what is called teacher leadership. What is teacher leadership? This is where teachers take on leadership roles while still maintaining the classroom. And it has been widely researched as a possible solution for reducing teacher attrition by recognizing highly accomplished teachers. Again, this is where teachers take on additional leadership roles, and it has been widely researched about the positive effects of teacher leadership, including positive feelings, increased growth, leadership capacity, and teacher autonomy. However, this is all possible if administration is on board, when the principals create an environment that is supportive for the teacher's work. Now, what is national board certification? Back in 1985, a report came out called A Nation at Risk, and it was a scathing report, basically condemning everything that was happening in the state of education in the United States. And so because of that, the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards was formed to advance teaching and learning. And so what national board certification is, it's an additional credential that teachers can get by going through a rigorous process, a rigorous voluntary process, and it allows for recognition of these highly accomplished teachers. So once you receive this credential, you're considered the top echelon of the profession. It also provides a pathway into leadership. It's also rewarded financially. And here in the United States, we have 32 states that offer additional pay for teachers that have this credential, with 14 states rewarding teachers who serve in underserved schools. They get an additional stipend on top of what their state is already receiving. And here in my state, we have 5 districts that offer national board certification compensation. Now, my research questions are as follows. I used a job satisfaction survey to determine if there was a significant difference between the level of satisfaction in teacher pay with a subsample of national board certified teachers as reported by the national mean that was measured by this job satisfaction survey. I did this for teacher pay, I did it for promotion, and I also did it for contingent rewards. And then there was a 4th research question that simply asked, what influenced NBCTs to remain in the profession? So the methodology that I used, this was a mixed method study with 2 phases. The first phase was quantitative, where I had a subsample of 150 national board certified teachers from across the United States. I used the job satisfaction survey by Paul Spector. It's a 36-item survey with 9 subscales. With permission from Dr. Spector, I scaled it down and only focused on 3 of the 9 subscales, which is pay, promotion, and contingent rewards. And when I did my research methods, I used a 1 sample t-test for phase 1, where I was determining if there was a significant difference between the JSS's reported national mean and the National Board Certified Teachers mean score in the subscales of teacher pay, promotion, and contingent rewards. Additionally, phase 2 of my study was qualitative, where I interviewed NBCTs and to tackle this question of what influences National Board Certified Teachers to remain in the profession. So there was a question embedded in the survey soliciting participants, and focus group interviews were conducted with 10 participants to address this question. I had 5 interview questions that were asked during these focus group interviews, and here they are, as you can see here on the screen. I'm not going to read them for the sake of time. And so here are the findings from this study. So for research question 1, is there a significant difference in the level of satisfaction in teacher pay between the JSS mean and the NBCTs? And as you can see here, the NBCT scored lower. There was a mean significant difference of 1.14. I did the same thing for the area of promotion. And as you can see here, the JSS mean is 11.7. The NBCT scored lower with a mean significant difference of 1.30. Same thing for contingent rewards. The JSS mean was 13.6, and the mean significant difference between NBCTs was 1.46. They also scored lower in that area. So across the board, NBCT scored lower than the national mean average that was reported by the job satisfaction survey. So now let's move to phase 2. I had participants from across the country that participated in my focus group. I had 10 national board certified teachers that participated, and these sessions were recorded via Zoom. They were transcribed, and then a thematic analysis was conducted using Nvivo software. And here are the findings. I had emerging themes from all of the interview questions. The first 2 themes that addressed why did you pursue national board certification? 2 themes emerged: financial incentives and enhanced teacher instructional practice, where we have some of the quotes from the focus groups talking about how it helped them become a better practitioner. And then we have the other here saying that they were simply looking for a way to make more money. For number 2, where it asks, did they feel valued by their school leaders and districts? The emergent theme here was a lack of recognition from school leaders and districts. and where we have some quotes here where a teacher stated that she told her administrator, you know that I'm national board certified, and that administrator, quote, said, we don't care. And so that was the overarching theme that came from this particular question. From question 3, did you feel satisfied about your leadership opportunities? We have here increased access to leadership opportunities. They felt that they did. Did they feel that they had a voice in decision making? And they did have increased confidence in voicing their opinions. And lastly, why do you stay in education? And it was basically intrinsic rewards and leveraging change in education. They felt they had a duty to pay it forward, and they felt that they were affecting change. So the discussion here is, what are the implications from this study? Despite receiving additional compensation, National Board Certified teachers are not satisfied with their pay. They're not satisfied with their promotional opportunities and their lack of recognition for their accomplishments. However, the intrinsic rewards are the motivating factors that keep them in the profession. So what are the recommendations for practice? The first thing we need to do is fully fund measures to increase teacher salaries at the district, state, and federal levels immediately to keep our teachers in the classroom, provide additional teacher leadership opportunities in a variety of career pathways for highly accomplished teachers, incentivize the teaching profession by recognizing those teachers that are highly accomplished. And lastly, we need to build awareness about the National Board Certification process with school and district leaders so that they understand what the rigorous process is and they can utilize the talent that they have inside of their district. All right, and the recommendations for future research. Future research, my study was done in the middle of the pandemic. So those were some extenuating factors as well that went into the feelings of why National Board Certified teachers scored lower than the national average. So I'm suggesting to have future research on teacher job satisfaction using all 9 subscales of Paul Spector's job satisfaction survey. Also, do this post-pandemic so that we can get a more holistic assessment of how satisfied National Board Certified teachers are. And additionally, obtain more qualitative data to assess National Board Certified teachers' opinions on how to reduce teacher attrition. Because this is a highly accomplished group, they'll be a little bit more willing to lend their voice and lend their opinions to future research to remedy the problem of teacher attrition. And that is it for my study. I thank you all. Do you all have any questions for me?